Oh, sure, yes. Moving on with the program. It's a great pleasure for me to present this particular individual because he's somebody, when we talk about mentorship, that, saw the treasure in me and is constantly encouraging me and telling me that I can go for it and I can do it. Dalitso Sulamoyo was born and raised in Lilongwe, Malawi. Since moving to the US in the early 90s, he has made economic and social justice a focal part of his career. I'm so proud to say, because this is really big, he's the Chief Executive Officer of the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission, and that's in Illinois. And as the CEO, he oversees a multi-faceted government agency. He has over 100 different federal, state, and local grants and contracts and a budget of over $40 million. Folks, that's almost a little country for some of us. The agency's services range from transportation planning, police training, community and social services, so much here, economic and community development, early childhood education for income-eligible families. Dali really has an extensive experience prior to joining the commission. He served as the president of the Illinois Association of Community Action Agencies, an organization that represents the largest anti-poverty network of organizations in Illinois. He's a graduate of Illinois College in Political Science and International Relations. And this man has, is it 2 or 3 graduate degrees in public sector labor relations and public administrations from the University of Illinois at Springfield. He has a PhD in organization development from Benedictine University, and he's serving on numerous local, state, and regional boards. And this I'm very excited about because I heard it when it was hot off the press. This August, he was elected to chair the National Community Action Partnership, a national organization representing the largest poverty-fighting network of community-based organizations in the United States. Welcome, Dr. Dalitso Sulamoyo.
Well, thank you so much, my sister Changa, for that very kind introduction. To Your Excellency, Madame Monica Chakwera, First Lady of the Republic of Malawi, the Organizing Committee of the Malawian Women in Diaspora Network, and to all those distinguished Malawians and friends of Malawi attending this virtual launch titled Sisterhood for Change. Let me begin by thanking you for the honor of asking me to be a small part of this rather auspicious occasion. Let me also applaud the organizing committee for envisioning the creation of an organization that will unite our Malawian women throughout the diaspora with a common purpose of uplifting each other and our mother Malawi. You, my sisters, are embarking on a journey that promises to build a strong bond where you'll be able to leverage and align each other's strengths, successes throughout the diaspora to benefit each other and Malawi. Your approach to sisterhood exemplifies our cultural philosophy of Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. I must confess that when I was asked to share some brief remarks today, I hesitated because I really didn't know what I would offer in terms of inspiration to such an august international network of Malawian women leaders. I'm indeed humbled because I'm not some renowned Malawian scientist who has discovered a cure for some debilitating disease. I am not a famous composer who has brought great musical melodies, and I am not a famous athlete, nor am I a great politician who has championed great causes for his constituents or an entrepreneur with a successful business. I am but an ordinary Malawian living in the diaspora who has been blessed to serve those who find themselves at the economic and social margins of our society. I am truly blessed to be in the position of leadership over the United States' largest anti-poverty network, with over 1,000 community-based organizations called the Community Action Movement. The promise of community action is that community action changes people's lives, embodies the spirit of hope, improves communities, and makes America a better place to live. In community action, we work with everyone in poverty. We work with women, young children, we address homelessness, and we work with our seniors and individuals with disabilities. We all have different stories we can share which illustrate our respective journeys in the diaspora. As Malawians living in the diaspora, we bring with us our culture, values, and customs as we assimilate into our adoptive cultures and countries. For some, that transition is not difficult, and for others, the transition is difficult. When I came to the United States close to 30 years ago to attend college, I became instantly homeless. I did not have enough money to obtain my own place or pay for room and board. I did not know anyone locally who could have supported me. There were no Malawians at the time in Springfield, Illinois. I did not have a community to support me during one of my most challenging and neediest times in a foreign land. With the assistance of the college, I was fortunate to have an American family that took me in as one of their own for 4 years and paid for my college education, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels, without asking for anything in return. To sit here today before you as someone who has been the first Black person and Malawian to lead 2 different organizations as the CEO is not only a miracle, but a blessing from God. My professional work here in America has indeed been more than a career. It has been a calling. Having the awesome task of assisting the least of these, our brothers and sisters, come out of the clutches of poverty into a life of dignity, self-worth, and self-sufficiency has been transformative and fulfilling for me personally. However, my story as a Malawian immigrant is not unique at all. Most of us have faced trials and tribulations in the diaspora. Many of us have triumphed and persevered. There are many of you attending this event who have persevered and succeeded in the diaspora. Some of you are doctors, lawyers, educators, and entrepreneurs. You have persevered because of that Malawian character and personality that I see in the organization you're launching today, which will build and bond you as sisters with the purpose of changing and uplifting our society. I remember when I began my career in community action, it was less than a year after I'd completed my graduate school. Even though at the time I did not have much experience, my job was to be the public policy director for the community action movement in Illinois. As I did that job, my predecessors soon had me involved in other operational aspects of the organization. Some of my colleagues at the time thought and believed that I was being used by my predecessor to do her job and that I would not be rewarded nor recognized for my efforts. In fact, one of my colleagues at the time jokingly called me Kunta Kinte, the slave character from Roots. While that reference was indeed offensive on many levels, I took my work situation as an opportunity to learn new skills, even if they were not part of my job description. I took it as an opportunity to learn about management and leadership. So I did everything from program operations, planning, auditing, and public policy. And a year and a half later, I became the president and CEO of that organization. So I used the opportunity of working with my predecessor to focus on my strengths and address my shortcomings. We need to focus on our strengths and the positives in our lives to deliver on our plans. And I believe it was Peter Drucker who said that the task of leadership is to create an alignment of strengths in ways that make weaknesses irrelevant. As Malawian women leaders in the diaspora, aligning your strengths through this organization you're launching today will make overcoming any insurmountable challenges possible. We should never settle because someone decides that we're only good enough to do the least that is expected of us. We should bring passion into everything we do. We should discover new passions when opportunities present themselves. We should surround ourselves with passionate people. If we discover others with passion, we will build a synergy that is unstoppable. Throughout my journey, I have tried to use a strength-based approach in the development of my plans. As you continue to build this organization, I would encourage you to refrain from using the standard SWOT analysis, but instead you should use the SOAR analysis. SOAR stands for strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and results. And I believe this will help to propel you and this organization forward. Assess your personal actions of strength. Discover what holds meaning and purpose for you. Identify your core strengths. Create goals that excite you. Reach your goals with clear focus by taking small, attainable steps. Develop strategies and solutions that will move you beyond your limits. Uncover personal and/or family values that have influenced the way you view and react to individuals and life situations. Release values that no longer work. Strengthen those that produce positive results and create new ones that empower you. Uncover your personality type and discover how you build on your strengths and how to embrace and empower your areas of difficulty. Learn communication techniques that create connection with others. Release the immobilizing effects of emotional wounds and build fulfilling relationships. Ralph Waldo Emerson spoke frequently about the power and the magic of things like hope, inspiration, and joy. And he said, for example, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. I will leave you today with a quote from Captain Thomas Sankara, who many of you know was a revolutionary from Burkina Faso, and he was president of that country for a short period of time. And his term of office ended tragically with an assassination. He had made enemies because he had embarked on a mission to fight poverty by empowering the very poor and women who had historically and culturally been oppressed in that country. And this is what he said: I would like to leave behind me the conviction that if we maintain a certain amount of caution and organization, we deserve victory. You cannot carry out fundamental change without a certain amount of madness. In this case, it comes from nonconformity. The courage to turn your back on the old formulas, the courage to invent the future. It took madmen of yesterday for us to be able to act with extreme clarity today. I want to be one of those madmen. We must dare to invent the future. So invent the future with the Malawian Women in Diaspora Network. Thank you, and God bless you.
George. Thank you very much, Dr. Sulamoyo. After what you have just shared with us, I too would like to be a man woman. You have inspired us, and you have pretty much shown that being African in America is the strength, the willingness, the resilience to succeed when all odds are stacked against you. You are an inspiring success story, and we look up to you, and I will definitely be getting in touch.